amendment does, it strikes an earmark of $39.7 million for the Advanced Training Center in West Virginia, a training facility for U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents. The center features a range of training environments, facilities, etc. But I want to point out that the committee, the administration requested, and the committee approved $30.3 million to operate and equip the facility. I may not agree with that.
The Senator will suspend. The Senate is not in order. Will the senators please kindly take their conversations out of the Senate floor? Thank you.
I think it's the senator from Illinois.
The senator from Arizona.
Madam President, I have no problem with the. I have a problem with it, but I'm not intending to have this amendment affect the $30 million which the administration requested to operate and equip the facility, and this amendment is not about that. What this amendment is about is the committee earmarked an additional $39.7 million to equip, furnish, and expand the Leadership Academy at the center. Let me be very clear what the amendment does and does not do. It does not strike the requested funding for the training facility. It does strike an unrequested, unauthorized, unnecessary earmark of nearly $40 million that was added to this bill at the direction of the senior member of this body. So I want to make that perfectly clear. And I'm sure that there will be opponents of this amendment, but have no doubt that it does not affect the $30 million that the administration requested. This is an additional $39.7 million to equip, furnish, and expand the Leadership Academy. You know, Mr. President, I think that it might be of interest to our colleagues that just today, at 9:23 a.m., the CBO is reporting the year-to-date budget deficit tops $1 trillion. So we consider this amendment, which has an additional $39.7 million on it, in the light of the Congressional Budget Office released its monthly budget review. And its key points are: the federal budget was $1.1 trillion for the first 9 months of fiscal year 2009. So here we are with a bill loaded down with earmarks worth tens of millions of dollars on the very day that the deficit, now the budget deficit, tops $1 trillion. In fact, it's $1.1 trillion. That's more than $800 billion greater than the deficit that was recorded through June 2008. Outlays are 21%, or $457 billion higher than they were in the 9 months of 2008, and revenues have fallen by 18%, by some $346 billion. Outlays for unemployment benefits so far this year are more than 2.5 times what they were at this point last year. About half of this increase is driven by higher unemployment rate, and half is driven by legislation expanding unemployment. The estimated deficit reflects outlays of $147 billion for the Troubled Asset Relief Program, known as TARP, recorded on a net present value basis, and spending of $83 billion in support of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Interest payments have declined 25.5% as a result of lower short-term interest rates. So here we're looking at business as usual on the earmarks and appropriations bills. Meanwhile, the year-to-date budget deficit tops $1 trillion. Maybe it is approaching $2 trillion by the end of the year. An incredible burden to lay on future generations of Americans. So I am sure that this amendment will probably lose. I am sure that proponents of the Advanced Training Center Leadership Academy in West Virginia will be stoutly defended, and its essential functions will be graphically described by the opponents of this amendment. It's time we stopped. It's time we stopped. Isn't $1 trillion deficit for the first 9 months of this year enough of a signal that maybe we ought to tighten our belts, that maybe we ought to stop adding $39.7 billion to an already requested $30 million to operate and equip an advanced training center, a training facility that is located in the state of West Virginia? I understand that. And our thoughts and prayers go out for the senior senator from West Virginia, and we hope he regains his health soon, and we hope he continues in his very effective membership and service in this body. But the fact is that the committee earmarked an additional $39.7 million to equip, furnish, and expand the Leadership Academy at the center. Can't we delay expanding, equipping, and furnishing a Leadership Academy? Can't we do that? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. But as long as Americans are bearing this incredible burden, a burgeoning deficit that we're laying on our children and our grandchildren, I and some others will be coming to this floor to try to point out that it's time that we got rid of things that are maybe even necessary but not vital to our nation's future. Madam President, I ask for the yeas and nays on the amendment.
Is there a sufficient second? There appears to be.
Madam President, I yield the floor.
President, Madam President, I don't think
Senator from Ohio.
I don't think there's